Hello everybody, my name is Jose Montano and I did my project on Helicobacter pylori. Helicobacter pylori, or H. pylori, was first discovered by Barry J. Marshall and Robin Warren. One important thing to note about the discovery is that it led many researchers to link certain conditions to this infection. Some of these conditions are gastritis, ulcers, and stomach cancer. What exactly is H. pylori? H. pylori is a gram-negative spiral-shaped bacteria. This bacteria belongs to the phylum group known as Campylobacter. One interesting thing about this group is that it is closely associated with human gastric epithelium infections. The infection rate of H. pylori is about 50% of infections that have been recorded worldwide. Many of these infections come from developing countries that have poor access to clean food and water. One interesting data that I found in one of my articles was a survey that was done in 2015. This survey showed that Switzerland reported about 18.9% of H. pylori infections compared to 87.7% of cases recorded in Nigeria. The mortality rate of this infection is about 5.9%. So how is H. pylori transmitted? Well, there's several routes. First route is person to person, second route is oral to oral, and then final route is fecal to oral. Certain virulence factors are the flagella that allow the bacteria to move easily, the urease enzyme that allows the bacteria to adapt, and then the certain adhesins that allow the bacteria to cause damage to the host. H. pylori has an interesting life cycle. Once it first enters the body, it has to adapt to the acidic environment. The way that it does it is by secreting urease. Urease converts urea into ammonia. The production of ammonia neutralizes the acidity in the stomach, making the environment more stable for the bacterium. After the environment is adequate for the bacteria, it adheres to mucosal epithelial cells and secretes certain exotoxins. The first type of toxin it releases is CAG-A. CAG-A is known as cytotoxin-associated antigen A, which causes disruptions with the cell's integrity. Some of the damage that it does is that it leads to inflammation of the cell. The second toxin is known as VAC-A. VAC-A is vacillin cytotoxin A, which causes the death of the cell on a molecular level, and the damage that it does is starts by shrinking and blebbing. Together, both these exotoxins create cellular damage that lead to ulcers. Some of these ulcers are due to the stomach acid seeping into tissue that is exposed. There's certain signs that come early. Some of those signs are pain or discomfort in the upper abdomen area, bloating, gas, loss of appetite, and frequent burping. Some of the late signs that are seen with this infection is constant burning sensation due to the ulcers. This pain generally becomes worse when the stomach is empty. One interesting thing that I found in one of my articles was certain diet restrictions that help with the pain. These diet restrictions recommended certain foods such as whole grains, root vegetables like carrots and sweet potatoes, and then certain green vegetables like broccoli and green beans. These have helped with buffering the stomach acid and creating less pain with many patients. One important sign or symptom that I found in my article was a bloody stool. These bloody stools are due to peptic ulcers that form near the blood vessels that become irritated and eventually burst. This is really important because the bleeding can lead to certain critical conditions. There are several ways to diagnose H. pylori. The first one is a urea breath test. The patient comes into a hospital environment and is given a carbon sample that is chemically tagged. The carbon sample is digested and then eventually metabolically processed. About after 20 minutes, the patient exhales into a bag or a strip, and then the test result is revealed. The second test mentioned is a stool test. Patients take in a sample of their stool and is tested for foreign proteins that are found with H. pylori. One important thing to note about this type of test is that not many medical facilities provide this type of test. And the final test was a biopsy. A biopsy is usually done through endoscopic route. The doctor goes in through the mouth down into the stomach and is able to see the type of damage that is caused by the bacteria. As well as seeing, the doctor is able to take certain samples that are later tested in the lab. One test that is done is called an H&E staining. This type of stain allows many microbiologists to see the type of damage and inflammation that the bacteria has caused in the gastric area. There are several treatments. The first treatment is known as a triple-step regimen. Some of the medicines in there are omeprazole, which is a PPI inhibitor. This type of inhibitor allows the cells to produce less acid in the stomach. And then clarithromycin and amoxicillin are certain antibiotics that are provided with this first option. The second option includes omeprazole, bismuthite, metronidazole, and tetracycline. This second option is usually given to people that have allergies or resistance to the first one. One important thing to note about this is that both of these, either the first option or the second option, have to be taken for 14 days. If a dose is missed, it allows the bacteria to create certain resistance towards the medicine. After the 14 days, the patient is later retested and then checked to see if the H. pylori has been eradicated. There are certain ways to prevent this. The first one is proper hand washing. This means washing your hands after coming from the washroom and then ensuring that you get nobody else sick. The second one is safe food preparation. This means wearing gloves in certain restaurant facilities or making sure you wash your hands prior to preparing food. And then the final one is proper water sourcing. This means finding clean water that isn't contaminated. One important thing that I noted throughout my research was the use of a new drug known as Talica. Talica is made up of 2 antibiotics, which is amoxicillin and rifampicin, and then they also include 1 PPI inhibitor. Together, this drug has shown about 84% more effective compared to the 58% rate shown with the other treatment that I mentioned. These new advancements have led to many doctors using this type of drug. And then there's also new research that's being done for developing countries in order to diagnose the infection earlier and provide medication to those developing countries. Thank you.